Tesla just made a huge announcement that's going to completely change their lineup forever. They just canceled the Model Y. Seriously, it's gone. Let me tell you why and why the bad news is not stopping there. They're working right now on 5 brand new Tesla vehicles that are going to be their boldest bets yet, with crazy new designs, very interesting features that some may love, and probably most of you are gonna absolutely hate. In fact, over the next 12 months, Tesla's current vehicle lineup is going to drastically change, in some ways for the better and in some ways for the worse. So let me break down like the top 10 things you need to know in this video. All the big changes coming to the Model 3, Model Y, Model S, Model X, Cybertruck is coming, and a couple of other new Tesla vehicles will be on the road in 2024 at some extremely low prices, but also you're sacrificing a lot to get to that price point. Let me explain why some of you guys are not going to be happy. And also a huge thanks to Masterworks for sponsoring this video. When it comes to Tesla's current lineup as it stands right now, things are honestly a bit confusing. We've got the all-new Model 3, but no updates whatsoever to the Model Y that's starting to look a bit dated. The Cybertruck is rapidly being built in Texas, but we still don't know when it's coming, and more importantly, we don't know its final price. And then there's Tesla's next generation vehicle, which we're learning a ton about recently, that's set to be extremely controversial and very polarizing. So as we sort of approach the final stretch of 2023, the last 4-ish months, I thought now would be a great time to sort of tell you what's going to change with these cars, because maybe you're a current owner and you want to know what changes could be coming. Maybe you're a potential owner wondering, should I buy now or should I wait? Let me tell you what Tesla is planning to change and how things are going to get better and also worse. And let me start with one section of the Tesla family that I often think gets overlooked and forgotten, and that is their base models. They're not super flashy, they don't boast crazy stats, but it's one of the most important offerings they've got, especially with the base Model 3 and Model Y being some of the most popular, most well-respected cars on the road. And to that end, the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, the standard Model 3, is not just one of the best vehicles on the road today, but honestly, it's one of the best values of cars that you can buy today. There's a lot of stats on potential gas savings and tax credits, but at just a touch over $40,000, this entry-level Model 3 gives you basically 99% of the Tesla experience you want. You're gonna get autopilot, you're gonna get the huge screen, you're gonna get cameras, you're gonna get all the software goodies. You can even go the full self-driving route if you want to. It's pretty amazing what you get with this entry-level car that's made even better, of course, by what I mentioned a moment ago, those pretty great incentives happening right now that could be going away. Adding in the $7,500 federal EV tax credit makes this car way more appealing, and when you also add in state and local incentives, you can bring the price of this car down by thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, getting it sort of near the $30,000 price point that many people have been waiting for, and for that price, by all means, you're getting a really, really good car. And I'm not just saying that. I actually own the rear-wheel drive standard range Model 3. In fact, I've had this car almost a year to the day. We got this car for my wife back at the end of the quarter, the last day, September 30th of 2022 is when we took delivery here in Orange County. And it's a really great car, and there is very little I dislike about it. I've mentioned some of my qualms in the past. Really just the fact, and I apologize for the messy garage here, mainly the things I don't like about it are the subpar audio system, the fact that it doesn't come with floor mats, especially given the price. $40,000, the car should come with some floor mats, not like the ones that the Model Y comes with or anything, or amazing or anything. And just some of the weird things that Tesla doesn't include. Fog lights, for example, I believe are still software locked. There are some interior lights in here that don't work simply because it's the base model. Those weird cost-cutting measures, software locking features just don't make sense to me. I understand that for this price, the car needs to have something in order to keep the price down, but it's got less range and it's got a different battery chemistry. It's an LFP-based battery, so don't like some of those things. But besides that, it's a really great car. You're getting the same paint offerings, same wheel offerings. I really, really love this car. And then there's also the Model Y side. Now, this is a long-range Model Y, but Tesla also sells a standard range Model Y here in the United States that has a 4680 structural battery pack. It's got all of the creature comforts you'd want. It's got the full audio system. It comes with floor mats. It's got all of the bells and whistles you'd find in a long range offering, but you can save yourself a couple of $1,000s if you don't need as much range. So Tesla's standard range offerings might seem like bad deals. Many think that they're too slow or they don't have enough range, but that's simply not the case. Whether you go with the Model 3 or you want the versatility of a standard range Model Y, you're going to get a really, really great car that you're going to love. And as it stands today, Tesla's standard range offerings are really good. Better than what a lot of people give them credit for. I haven't owned a standard range Model Y, though I believe everyone who has one says it's great, but I've had both a standard range Plus and now the rear wheel drive Model 3 that I really, really like, even with the Highland refresh debuting in a couple of months here in North America and out already internationally. Still a really great car, especially for the price. Now, as great as these base model Teslas are, there is some bad news here you need to know, and that is that at least here in the US, Tesla has just canceled their cheapest Model Y. The standard range Model Y is no longer here on the website, and that's not where the bad news stops. But let's just be honest, that's just sort of the name of the game at this point, right? I mean, even though Tesla's on the verge of some major software breakthroughs and Cybertruck deliveries should start any day now, the stock is still one of the most shorted on the market right now, even though it's up 150% year to date. In fact, just a few select brands like Tesla are the only things sort of holding up the market this year, which is why many longtime legendary investors have been quietly dumping their stocks in favor of assets that won't give you this sort of market whiplash. That's why my subscribers know that today's sponsor, Masterworks, is a potential way to add a layer of much needed insulation to your portfolio and minimize that stock market panic. In fact, Masterworks just had their 16th exit a few weeks ago, delivering another double-digit net return to their investors. These are everyday investors like me and you who don't need to have millions of dollars or art expertise or have these connections, because Masterworks has revolutionized the entire art investing world and lets us, just regular old people, invest in fine art. Most exciting of all is that Masterworks' latest offering, a 1982 Besquite original, is worth over $36 million, and public auction data shows similar works appreciated in value by over 22% between 2006 and 2022. With over 800,000 users, I guarantee you that shares of that Besquite offering and others are going to go very fast, and even if you're like me and you haven't gotten the chance to invest yet, I've got some good news for you, and that is that Masterworks is teaming up with me to allow you guys to skip the waitlist and get instant access to the platform right now. So you can bypass the line, you can bypass everybody else and get instant access to the platform right now in my link in the description down below. Again, Masterworks has changed the game. You don't need to be an art expert. You don't need to have millions of dollars or the right connections to invest in fine art. And again, now is a great time, better than ever, to diversify your portfolio and your investments. And Masterworks has totally changed the game. Hit the link down below to learn more, to check out Masterworks for yourself today, and also see important disclosures at masterworks.com/CD. Now, obviously, this is a big deal. Tesla did this quietly without sort of any announcement as to what could be happening, and many are speculating this could be temporary as the 4680 battery cells are being used in Cybertruck production now, so there's a good possibility that Tesla is sort of shifting those cells away from Model Y over to Cybertruck as that vehicle needs to get built in massive quantities and get on the road, and as Model Y still has two other variants that people can choose from. Now, while that's just a rumor, even if it's true, we have no idea what that means for the standard range Model Y, as it's probably going to take Tesla quite some time to get Cybertruck up to speed, so there might not be any standard range Model Y for a while. But what's also interesting about this is that it sort of connects to another story we heard in China, that Tesla might actually be canceling the standard range Model Y over there. The rear wheel drive Model Y may be canceled at Giga Shanghai and not replaced by anything just because Tesla doesn't want to offer it anymore. And again, it doesn't stop there, because there are also new rumors that Tesla may increase the price of the Model Y, every Model Y in the lineup, by at least a few $100s as soon as a couple of weeks from now. So the standard range Model Y is now gone here in the US. The Chinese one might be gone here very soon, and Model Y prices might be going up any day now. So interesting time for the Model Y, especially as it's lacking any sort of refresh too. Now, with all that said, and as great as these two models are, it is worth noting that all models of the Model 3 and Model Y are expected to change pretty drastically over the next 12 months. The refresh Model 3, the Project Highland refresh, is being built right now in droves at Giga Shanghai. They are building a bunch of these cars, And if you're in certain parts of the world that take delivery of vehicles from Giga Shanghai, you can get this car as early as next month in October, so a couple of weeks from now. But then in the next 6-ish months, these cars should be available in more places around the world. For example, here in North America, we're looking at hopefully an early Q1 of 2024 delivery timeline on when these Model 3s will hit the road here. So in the next, in the next 12 months, these new Highland Refresh Model 3s should be everywhere around the world. Now, of course, I know from reading your comments that not everyone is in love with this update. It does have nice things like ventilated seats, it's got a brighter display, it's got the new HVAC system, RGB ambient lighting, the front and back design, great stuff, but it also has the controversial change that is the removal of the socks. And I know many of you guys are very anti-stockless vehicles, you hate this change, and I will say that if that is something that is very important to you, then right now is really a good time to buy the Model 3 because even though this new model is coming, in many ways for you, it's going to be a downgrade. And as EV incentives are expected to change over the next couple of months going into the new year, might as well lock in a great price now and get a really great car for a really great price and keep your physical stocks. And just a little aside here, I've talked before in my Model Y reviews on how I bought my Model Y at the worst possible time, basically when prices were near their peak. And my Model 3 luck has been as bad, if not worse. This is my wife's car. We got this basically 1 year ago, almost to the day, at the very end, the end of the quarter in September of last year. And I was just going through the paperwork, and the price of this car, this is when Tesla prices were crazy, was $50,000. It is $10,000 more expensive than what you can add in today. And remember back a year ago, there were no federal EV tax incentives. State incentives and local incentives aren't what they are today. And massively overpaid for this car. It's a great car, but it's a lot tougher of a pill to swallow for $50,000. And looking back now, I love the car, but I absolutely hate what I paid for it. Again, I said for the Model Y too, I got that car at the worst time, and I've just got horrible luck when it comes to the timing of buying Teslas. And of course, what the Model 3 has is also what the Model Y is going to get in time as well. Internally, it's called Project Juniper. Basically, it's the exact same refresh design language coming to the all-new Model Y, but where things get controversial here is when this Model Y refresh is coming. It's safe to say that in about 12 to 18 months from now, this new Model Y will be here, though there are some theories that suggest a stopgap update could be coming much sooner that would give the Model Y some updates, but probably not the exterior updates over the next few months. But regardless of which analysts you choose to believe or what the rumor of the day is, over the next 12 months, the Model Y is going to drastically change, and it will be getting all of these features that the Model 3 has. So it's going to be getting a new design, it's going to get the RGB ambient lighting, the new audio system, all the stuff that the new Model 3 has, the Model Y will get over the next year. That may change your buying decision and your buying process depending on sort of what you value in your vehicle. Though again, the current incentives are great. Just know that if you do buy a Model Y today, you're going to be seeing a different Model Y on the road in about 12 months. Then, of course, there is Cybertruck, which should be ready to launch basically any day at this point. Tesla is very quickly ramping up production at Giga Texas. There were actually some rumors a couple of days ago that we could see Cybertruck deliveries like super soon, but then a Tesla employee recanted what they had said because it wasn't an official company statement. It's very unclear when we're going to see Cybertruck, but what is clear is that we're seeing more and more on the roads each day. It's very clear that Texas, the factory there, is building a ton of these. They're on the road all over. They're in Las Vegas. They're in the north and south parts of California. They're in Texas. We should be getting Cybertrucks at any moment now, and if you're an early reservation holder, you may be getting your truck sooner than later. The problem is that if you're not an early reservation holder, we still have no idea when you'd be in line to get that vehicle. It could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be several months. We just don't know how Tesla's going to do it. And also, we still don't have final specs. We don't know what build or trim Tesla's building at the beginning. We don't have final pricing details. Cybertruck is still so close yet so far. We know it's coming soon, but there are still many mysteries surrounding it. This vehicle obviously is definitely going to be on the road in some capacity over the next 12 months. So you will be seeing Tesla's truck officially hit the road after many years of delay. Though when you can get yours is still going to be a mystery. If you're wondering about the Model S and Model X, I'll keep it brief here because there's good news and there's bad news. On one hand, obviously, as you know, Tesla has been slashing prices on these vehicles like crazy. So now is like one of the best times to buy an S or an X. But there are a couple of downsides to consider. One is that we've heard a couple of reports that an update is coming that would bring some of the new Tesla design cues, like the RGB ambient lighting and maybe some interior changes, like that new refreshed, faster screen that's brighter and more responsive. And then also a front bumper camera is also expected to be coming to the S and the X sometime in the next few months. There is speculation that this front bumper camera could be used for 360-degree views or some sort of top-down view. Not exactly sure how Tesla intends to use it, but it does seem to be on the Cybertruck. It's going to be on Model 3 Highland and presumably Model Y and the S and the X as well. So it is going to be a big part of their system moving forward. So if you do want to wait for the latest and greatest Model X or S, it's going to be coming in sometime in the next couple of months. Then we venture from the pretty well-known to sort of Tesla's unknown. What is coming next from them? And that is their next generation vehicle platform, which according to Tesla themselves would be in some capacity on the road and being built in 2024. And as of the latest reports, looks like Tesla is building 2 vehicles on this next-gen platform. One is going to be a smaller, more compact, low-cost $25,000 Tesla vehicle, and the other is one that shares the exact same design, but is built specifically to be a robotaxi because it has no pedals, no stalks, no wheel, just the screen inside that you sit down and the car drives itself. We've actually learned a lot recently on these new vehicles, and here's what you need to know. Basically, what we're learning right now is that Tesla plans to build these vehicles at Giga Texas in the United States of America, obviously, and that Tesla is going to start first with the low-cost Model 2, then move over to robotaxi. Apparently, robotaxi is what Elon really wants to build. That's the ultimate goal, but in a way to sort of build up some cash reserves for Tesla and to get more vehicles sort of off the production line and into people's driveways and on the road, they needed to build a mass market vehicle first that would do well internationally. And that seems to be this $25,000 Tesla, which we're actually learning is going to be very heavily inspired by the Cybertruck with a very polarizing design. We've gotten a couple of glimpses of images of what this could look like. There's this sort of cardboard-esque real-life sort of mock-up here that Franz is showing off. We've also got some images of what this could look like as well, and it's going to look futuristic and polarizing, but this seems to be the language, design language Tesla is going with this vehicle, and also considering the fact that this vehicle would start being built as soon as a couple of months from now in 2024, seems like the design is probably finalized, so this is probably what it's going to be close to looking like, so that's something to consider. And once Tesla builds that vehicle, they then move on to robotaxi, which would be basically the exact same design, same seating configuration, all that stuff, but you'd get in and there'd be no way to interact with the car, no input, as the car would drive itself, presumably built off of the full self-driving platform. And a quick aside on this, many are wondering where all this info is coming from these days, and actually it's coming from the Walter Isaacson Elon Musk biography. I just picked this up. It just came out a couple of days ago. Honestly, I'm not a huge reader, but I've read the excerpts online from sort of the press junket on what is in here, and there's a lot of good stuff. I did like the Steve Jobs biography, which I have off camera over there. I think the Walter Isaacson books are pretty good, so I will say that if you do want to pick this up, it's a pretty good read so far. I'll leave a link to it down below on Amazon. Just came out. I think you could even get signed copies from Elon on Amazon, so I'll leave links I can find down below, but a really good book, and if you are interested in Tesla and you've made it this far in the video, you probably are interested, so I'll leave this book linked down below, but we've got a lot of info from that book, which sort of circulated in the press over the last couple of days, that gives us our best look yet at what these next vehicles from Tesla will look like. I should also mention that there is one more vehicle Tesla might be building on this platform, though info on this is very sparse, and that is some kind of van. We got a tease a little while ago of what a Tesla van could look like. It seemed like Tesla was alluding to the fact that they were building a van. I think before Elon even mentioned that Tesla could build some sort of cyber van or minivan, not exactly sure what he said on that note, but there is speculation that Tesla could build some sort of van. Now, there is a lot of different opinions on what kind of van they could build, whether this is a consumer minivan, like a cyber van like this mock-up here, or if it's something like a cargo van, like a utility van, like what Rivian does. It's unclear where, which direction Tesla could take with that, but there is evidence to suggest that Tesla is building a van, and that's coming, but probably lower on the totem pole than the other vehicles they're working on right now. So I'm curious to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on all this Tesla news? What are your thoughts on all the changes coming in the next 12 months? Your thoughts on the Model 3, the Model Y, the new S and the X, the Cybertruck? How do you think Tesla's vehicles are going to change in the next 12 months? And are these changes for the better or are they for the worse? Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld. I'll see you all in the next one.